They told you vegetables are always good for you. But what if I told you that one popular vegetable, found in many so-called healthy diets, could be silently destroying your erections after 60? That it could be raising your estrogen, clogging your blood vessels, and stealing the very energy and clarity you're trying to regain? It's not fear, it's biology. And most men over 60 have no idea they're eating the wrong greens while ignoring the ones that actually restore their vitality. At Intimacy Over 60, we've spent decades helping men navigate the physical, hormonal, and emotional changes that come with aging. And time and again, we've seen how nutrition can either accelerate decline or awaken strength in the second half of life. Most men focus on pills, supplements, or workouts. But what if I told you that the fastest, safest, and most overlooked way to boost your energy, sharpen your memory, protect your joints, and even restore your bedroom confidence could start with just 4 specific vegetables? And that one common healthy vegetable may be doing the exact opposite? In today's video, Intimacy Over 60 will walk you through 4 powerful vegetables that support circulation, testosterone, brain health, and joint strength in men over 60. These are real foods, no gimmicks. No trends, just science-backed choices your body still responds to. And stay with us, because at the end, we'll reveal the one vegetable you need to cut out immediately if you want to protect your hormones, your heart, and your erections. Most men are eating it weekly. Don't be one of them. Let's begin. But before we dive into these 5 powerful vegetables every man over 60 should know about, take a second to subscribe and turn on the bell. That way, you'll never miss another science-backed tip made to help you stay strong, sharp, and energized. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and let us know what topics you'd like us to cover next. Your health matters, and we're listening. All right, let's begin with the very first vegetable, one that we consider a natural powerhouse for older men. It's rich in nutrients that don't just support energy and blood pressure, but directly enhance blood flow where it matters most. For many of our viewers, this one simple food has made a noticeable difference in their stamina, clarity, and even their confidence in the bedroom. Let's talk about beets. Cold, and things just aren't working like they used to down there. That pause. The shame behind his eyes. I see it more often than you'd imagine in men over 60. And in many cases, it comes down to one thing: poor circulation. I ordered a full workup. His testosterone was low, but not dangerously so. His cholesterol wasn't terrible, but what stood out was his nitric oxide completely depleted. That's the molecule responsible for relaxing blood vessels and sending oxygen-rich blood to every part of your body, including the brain, heart, and yes, the areas tied to intimacy and confidence. So, I gave Jim one simple assignment. Drink 4 ounces of beet juice every morning for the next 3 weeks. Nothing else, no supplements, no medications, just that one small habit. When he came back, I saw it before he even spoke. His color was better, his posture straighter, his voice stronger. He grinned and said, "I don't know what's in that stuff, but I feel like I got a bit of myself back." Beets work because they're rich in dietary nitrates, which your body naturally converts into nitric oxide. This improves blood flow not only to your heart, but to your muscles, your joints, and even your memory centers. It's one of nature's purest, most powerful ways to revive what age tries to take away. They're also packed with betalains, which reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, 2 key drivers of chronic disease and joint pain as we age. But the magic isn't just in the science. It's in the way beets make men feel more awake, more alive, more like themselves. And it doesn't take a lot. Just a half cup of cooked beets, a small glass of beet juice, or even adding them into a smoothie can start to shift things in the right direction. You'll begin to feel warmer hands, better stamina, and maybe even a little spark returning in places you thought had gone quiet. Still, circulation is just one piece of the puzzle. Because even if the blood is flowing well, if your hormones are off or your joints are stiff, that spark won't last. That's why the next vegetable on our list is just as essential, and it's one you've probably had on your plate without realizing it holds the key to stronger testosterone, better joint mobility, and a calmer, clear-ming. Let's talk about spinach. 2. Spinach, the testosterone-safe green fuel. There's something oddly comforting about the smell of sautéed spinach. It reminds me of my grandfather, Every Sunday morning, he'd toss a handful into his eggs, sprinkle a bit of pepper, and say, "This is what keeps the engine running, boy." Back then, I just thought it was an old man's habit. But now, after 30 years of treating aging men, I realize he knew something most people overlook. Spinach isn't just a leafy green. It's fuel for a man's aging body. My patient Mark came to see me a few months after his 72nd birthday. His complaints were familiar low stamina, aching joints, foggy thinking, and a loss of motivation that had slowly crept in after retirement. "I just don't feel like myself anymore," he said. His lab results revealed what I often see in older men: low magnesium, borderline low testosterone, and increasing markers of inflammation. Spinach was the first thing I added to his routine. Not a supplement, not a prescription, just a daily handful of fresh spinach, lightly cooked. It may sound simple, but this humble green is packed with what most senior men are lacking. Magnesium is one of the most important minerals for testosterone production, joint health, and muscle relaxation. Without it, your energy drops, your sleep suffers, and your strength fades. Spinach is also rich in vitamin K1, which helps drive calcium into your bones instead of your arteries, crucial benefit for men worried about fractures or hardening of the arteries. Add to that its iron, folate, and plant-based nitrates, and you've got a vegetable that supports blood flow, oxygen delivery, and even brain health. But there's something else about spinach I love. It's what I call a testosterone-safe green. Unlike some other vegetables that can mess with your hormones if eaten in excess, spinach actually supports hormonal balance. I've seen it help men feel steadier emotionally, more alert mentally, and more confident in their bodies without needing hormone therapy or complicated diets. Mark came back after 2 months, and I barely recognized him. He was livelier, sharper, and the limp in his step was gone. "I don't know what's in that green stuff," he joked, "but it's waking me up from the inside out." That's the kind of quiet transformation I've seen over and over again from something as simple as spinach. And here's the thing. When you start feeding your body the right greens, it starts to remember how to repair itself. But there's still a bigger threat most men don't realize. Something slowly stealing their masculinity at the hormonal level. It's not about blood flow or minerals. It's about a silent shift happening inside the body that many men ignore until it's too late. That's where our next vegetable steps in, not just to help but to defend. Let's take a closer look at broccoli. 3. Broccoli, the estrogen balancer and cancer shield. Not long ago, I had a patient named Roger, 69 years old, a proud grandfather, and retired school principal. He had always been disciplined about his health, stayed active, avoided sugar, and even did some light strength training. But something felt off. "Doc, I'm gaining weight in weird places, and I've been moody for no reason," he said. He also mentioned frequent nighttime, urination, and a rising PSA score. We ran the labs, and one thing was clear. His estrogen levels were creeping up, and his body was struggling to clear out excess hormones and toxins. This happens more often than people realize. As men age, testosterone naturally declines. But estrogen? That can stay the same or even rise. And when that balance tips, it leads to more belly fat, softer muscle tone, low mood, and even prostate issues. That's where broccoli becomes an unlikely hero. I recommended Roger add just half a cup of steamed broccoli to his dinner each day. Nothing drastic. Within weeks, his mood started to improve. His waist slimmed slightly, and on his next lab visit, his estrogen levels were back within range. That's the power of sulforaphane, a compound found in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli. It helps the liver detoxify excess estrogen and xenoestrogens, those sneaky hormone disruptors found in plastics and processed foods. It also supports the production of glutathione, the body's master antioxidant, which fights inflammation from the inside out. What I love most about broccoli is that it doesn't just fight hormonal imbalance. It offers protection where men need it most: the prostate, the brain, and the digestive system. I've seen patients who struggled with sluggish digestion, chronic joint aches, and even brain fog turn a corner simply by making broccoli a part of their daily rhythm. It's not just a vegetable, it's a defense system. And if the taste bothers you, you don't have to suffer through a giant bowl of it. A small serving, lightly steamed and drizzled with olive oil and a dash of garlic, is enough to get the benefits. What matters most is consistency. Day after day, your body uses those phytonutrients to do what it was designed to do: clean, restore, and protect. Roger still eats his broccoli every night. And last time I saw him, he said, "I don't feel like an old man anymore. I feel like me." That's the quiet transformation I want for every man over 60. But while broccoli protects your hormones and helps flush out what doesn't belong, the next vegetable does something just as critical. It helps rebuild what time has worn down. Your skin, your joints, even your immune system all rely on this next one. And most men never think to use it. Let's talk about red bell peppers. 4. Red bell peppers, the skin, joint, and immune defender. Years ago, my father-in-law, David, then 74, came to me with a simple complaint. Everything hurts a little more than it used to. My knees, my fingers, even my back and my skin, Doc. It just feels thin, like it bruises too easily. I could hear the frustration in his voice, that quiet fear that comes with aging, losing strength, losing resilience, losing the body you used to count on. But when I asked him what he was eating every day, I wasn't surprised. Lots of bread, some chicken, occasional greens, but very few vegetables with real color. That's when I suggested something unexpected: red bell peppers. Red bell peppers are one of the most overlooked, underestimated vegetables out there. They're sweet, crunchy, and easy to find, but few people know they're absolutely packed with vitamin C, more than oranges. And after age 60, vitamin C becomes essential. Not just for fighting off colds, but for something much deeper: rebuilding collagen. Collagen is the protein that keeps your skin firm, your joints cushioned, and your blood vessels strong. As you age, collagen production slows down. That's why wounds heal slower, skin starts to sag, and joints begin to ache. But with enough vitamin K, with other antioxidants found in red bell peppers, your body can start restoring what time tries to erode. Within a month of eating half a red pepper, a day sliced raw with hummus or tossed into a salad, David began noticing small changes. His skin felt less dry. His knees didn't ache as much when he climbed stairs. And he stopped catching every little bug that passed through the house. He told me, "It's not like I'm 40 again, but I finally feel like I'm holding together." What makes red bell peppers even more special is their content of beta-carotene, lutein, and zeaxanthin compounds that protect your eyes from age-related decline. These nutrients accumulate in the retina, shielding it from harmful blue light and reducing the risk of macular degeneration. And for men who spend time reading, driving, or working with their hands, preserving sharp vision is priceless. And here's something I've learned through years of patient care. When a man starts to feel strong in his joints, clear in his vision, and healthy in his skin, something shifts in his confidence. He walks taller, he sleeps better, he engages more with the world around him. That's the quiet gift vegetables like red bell peppers can offer: not just nutrients, but renewal. But while peppers can help rebuild and defend your body from the outside in, there's one more vegetable we need to talk about. And this one's different, because despite its healthy reputation, it may actually be robbing your strength, damaging your hormones, and quietly stealing your erections. Most men over 60 eat it without thinking twice. Let's uncover the truth. 5. Soybeans, the estrogen elevator and silent erection killer. There was a man named Charles who came to see me not long ago. He was 66, a retired pilot still, sharp as ever but clearly uncomfortable. He had been feeling tired, soft around the middle, and something more personally hesitated to say until the door was closed. "Doc, my drive is gone, and when the moment's right, my body just doesn't respond anymore." We ran some labs, and one thing stood out: estrogen levels were unusually high for a man his age. I asked him about his diet. He proudly listed protein shakes, soy milk in his coffee, a few veggie burgers during the week. He believed he was doing everything right. That's when Intimacy Over 60 explained what many men over 60 don't realize. Soybeans, especially in processed forms, can mimic estrogen in the body. And over time, that subtle shift can weaken the very foundation of a man's vitality. Soy contains compounds called isoflavones, plant-based phytoestrogens that, while naturally occurring, can act like estrogen inside your body. In small amounts, like in fermented soy products such as miso or tempeh soy, can be perfectly fine. But the modern American diet is overloaded with soy additives, soy protein isolate, and soy oils, often hidden in protein bars, salad dressings, cereals, and processed snacks. For aging men, this can disrupt hormonal balance, reduce testosterone activity, and interfere with thyroid functional, of which directly affect energy, metabolism, mood, and sexual performance. In Charles's case, we removed all hidden soy from his diet and replaced it with clean protein sources and testosterone-supporting vegetables like spinach and broccoli. Within 6 weeks, he reported more morning energy, sharper focus, and yes, a return of intimacy that had been missing for months. He smiled and said, "I didn't realize something so common could hold me back so much." That's what makes soy tricky. It's marketed as heart-healthy, plant-based, and smart. But what's good for one body isn't always good for another, especially a man over 60 whose hormones are already in flux. Intimacy over 60 has seen men struggle with stubborn belly fat, emotional ups and downs, and declining motivation, only to discover that the silent culprit was hiding in their healthy foods. What matters most is awareness. You don't need to fear food, you simply need to know what your body can handle now. Because after 60, your body isn't broken. It's just more sensitive to the choices you make. And when you start removing the wrong things while adding the right ones, everything can change. So, now that you've learned which 4 vegetables to eat and which one to watch out for, what does this mean for your daily life? How do these small decisions actually shape your strength, your memory, and even your manhood in the years ahead? Let's bring it all together. Final message from Intimacy Over 60. You're not too old to feel strong again. After years of listening to men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, Intimacy Over 60 has learned something simple but powerful. Aging doesn't break us. It's the small, repeated choices that either build us up or quietly wear us down. And what we eat is often at the center of that story. Today, we talked about 4 vegetables that do more than just fill your plate. Beets to awaken circulation and restore blood flow. Spinach to support testosterone and protect your joints. Broccoli to rebalance hormones and shield your prostate. Red bell peppers to rebuild collagen and keep your immune system sharp. These aren't just healthy foods, they're quiet allies, helping your body remember how to feel strong again. And then there's soybeans, a food praised for being heart-healthy. But for many older men, it slowly shifts hormones, weakens erections, and steals that deep inner spark. Intimacy Over 60 has seen men regain that spark, not through medication, but through awareness and better choices own bite at a time. We're not asking you to overhaul your life overnight. Just believe that your body still listens, that even now, it can heal, respond, and grow stronger if you give it what it needs. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. So, the next time you're in your kitchen or the grocery store, remember this. These aren't just vegetables. They're signals. Signals to your body that you're not giving up, that you're still in the game, and that you're ready not just to survive but to thrive.